Hello and welcome to my introduction video on the new G9X Mark II. So G9X Mark II is replacing our current G9X, which is part of our Expert series of cameras. In this Expert category, we have the G1X Mark II, the G5X, the G3X, the G7X Mark II, and now the G9X Mark II as well. Now what makes these cameras Expert cameras is the size of their sensors. So the 5, 3, 7 and 9 all share a 1-inch size sensor, whereas the G1X Mark II has a 1.5-inch sensor. Now if you look at the G9X Mark II, you'd be hard pushed to see the differences between that and its predecessor, the original G9X. This is kind of deliberate, as there's nothing wrong with the design, look and feel of the original G9X. But what you will notice is the red ring around the shutter button is slightly more pronounced, and also what I quite like what they've done is the control ring on the front of the camera, they've made the indentations on there a lot larger so it's easier to grip with your fingers. As I said, other than that, the cameras are almost identical. So in the range of Expert cameras, this one sits as being the smallest and lightest 1-inch size sensor camera that we have. The next one up in the range is the G7X Mark II. Now the G9X has a 3 times optical zoom, whereas the G7X has a longer zoom on it, but obviously that makes the body physically larger. It also has a variable angle screen on the G7X, which once again makes it larger. So the G9X is all about being as small and as lightweight as possible. Internally, the G9X Mark II shares the same sensor as the G9X, but what it does have is it has the new G9X processor. So the G9X processor can be found on the G7X Mark II, and we've now got it on the G9X. Now there's a number of things that the G9X processor gives you. One of the most exciting things is it gives you better tracking of moving subjects. So it can lock onto subjects a lot quicker and follow them through the shot. This isn't just of people, this is also of objects as well. So it has quicker object recognition and, as I mentioned, is able to track the objects through the shot a lot quicker. Another thing that the G9X has given us is dual sensing IS. So this is where the camera is using not just the gyro sensors that's built into the camera, but also the imaging sensor to give you an improvement in your IS performance, so an improvement in your image stabilization. This should make a big difference if you're photographing from, say, a moving vehicle or walking and shooting at the same time. The G9X is also giving an improvement in your frames per second for RAW and for JPEG shooting. So with JPEG, you can get 8.1 frames per second up to about 38 frames, and with RAW, you can get 8.2 frames a second, but only for 21 frames. This is a vast improvement over the predecessor. So as you'd expect, the new processor also gives you better low-light performance. The G9X will actually process 14 times more data than G9X, which really equates to about a one-stop performance difference. So if you shoot at ISO 800 at the moment on the G9X, with the G9X Mark II, you should be able to shoot at ISO 1600 and still get the same kind of image quality. Another fun thing that can be found from G9X has got to be the time-lapse movie. So this is something that we put on the G7X Mark II and obviously now is on the G9X, and it's a great feature just for creating a real different look and feel to your videos. The G9X Mark II is a very small, lightweight camera, but with a lot of control. It has a lot of features that you normally find on higher-end cameras as well. For instance, you have in-camera RAW processing, and it also supports picture styles, so very similar to the EOS. And that's really the strength of this camera, that if you do use an EOS product, you can jump onto this camera and use it in a very similar way. What's great about it is the menu systems are almost identical. So if you're used to using EOS or one of our mirrorless cameras, you can come onto this camera and start using it straight away without having to learn a new menu structure. The camera also contains USB charging, which is something that we've had before, but this time it's a lot faster. You can get a full charge in about 2.5 hours, which is a vast improvement over its predecessor and brings it into line with most smartphones. As you'd expect, this is a connected camera. It has Wi-Fi and NFC like its predecessor, but it now also has Bluetooth. The great thing about Bluetooth is it's low power, so it uses less battery power on the camera and also on the smart device as well. We introduced this on the EOS M5 first of all, and it's nice to see it now on other models in our lineup. The great thing about the Bluetooth is it makes connecting to Wi-Fi easier. As it's an always-on connection, you can turn the camera on even when the power is off using your smart device, and then you can instantly use the smart device as a remote shutter. Thank you for watching this introduction to the new G9X Mark II. If you'd like to know more, please feel free to email me, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up.